Welcome to another great episode of Growth Through Positivity. I'm excited to have Faigy on. Faigy, introduce yourself to the audience, what it is that you do, and from there we'll take it into a conversation.
Sure. So, hi, my name is Faigy Chaskelson. I want to say thank you, Ellie, for inviting me. Um, I have a company called Styles Design Interiors. At Styles Design, we are the peace of mind for business owners. We take their projects, whether it's property, nursing homes, offices, and create the holistic approach. And we offer the design all the way till install or past install. We make sure we sweep the floor on the way out and they have a clean space to utilize.
Okay, so I was going to ask you about that because you did. I saw it on your LinkedIn that it gives the peace of mind. So I'd like to ask a little bit of how did you recognize the, let's call it clutter or chaos or frustration with, let it be a business owner or whoever it is that's your client from the sense of multifamily or healthcare or just an office building, that you were able to develop this full package.
So I found, I'll give you an example. We recently did a project in Lakewood, New Jersey. It was an
Mhm.
office. At the end of the project, we like to do our walkthrough, making sure that every single screw is, tightened. Um, and when we were going through it, the office manager is like, I didn't realize what I'm getting myself into. I practically left my job just to do this construction. Um, that was because he didn't want to do the project management with us. He wanted to do it himself. He thought he was able to control it, and that's when they gave me the words peace of mind. I'm like, wow, I keep on seeing the same thing. The office managers keep on telling me, Faigy, I don't know how you do it. Just so many things to take care of. And I was like, okay, so that's what you need. You need the peace of mind. I realized that they weren't understanding the full scope of it. And that's where we put those words into our lingo.
Lingo, beautiful, into your mission statement or whatever that is. So let me ask you here real quick, okay, just so the audience gets a little bit of clarity and myself as well. In the design to sweeping the floor prior to them to moving in and make sure that everything's done. So are you the designer, the architect, the owner's rep, the general contractor, project management? Tell me what that full scope looks like, because I know from my past there's a lot of different
Right.
seats that people could take or different positions. So break it down for us a little bit.
Sure. So we are not architects. We can create the floor plans for the architects if needed, but we are not architects. We do the interior design. We create the full construction drawing, the full set. It's like sometimes can be 50 pages, 100 pages. It's basically the instruction manual for the contractor to be able to execute the design. And in addition to that, we offer the full procurement services. So we buy everything, we manage, we warehouse, we hire the installation, we take care of everything. I have my own personal warehouse that, at times we have to have things sitting in my warehouse till things are ready because everything comes staggered and we don't want to lose the item because of lead time. And we take care of the full process for the more procurement of the products that have to go into the space, such as desks. If it's a nursing home, it's the furniture, the soft goods, the art, the signage, anything that's decorative.
When you first launched, first of all, how many years ago was it? And when did you realize that you needed to add all these additional services? Or was it from day one that you had this vision to say, I'm going to be one stop shop from the procurement to the design? How did that unravel?
So I first had my experience 9 years ago. I worked for a procurement company and I just helped them execute, their daily tasks. I ran the department and then I went into design on my own and I offered it with the procurement. Not everybody wants it, but as a designer, it's another stream of revenue. It's the smartest thing to do.
Okay, so now I have another question, a pile-on question with that.
Sure.
Did you see yourself being entrepreneurial, or did you see yourself, your strength of your uniqueness in regards to design that made you get out of that procurement specific seat?
Entrepreneurial, solely entrepreneurial.
Entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is the one thing about that entrepreneurial spirit that really, really fulfills your day to day, if I may say, in a professional way?
So I love business. I have a passion for business. I actually recently completed the Goldman Sachs program, the Goldman Sachs NKSB. It's all about business. and I even now enrolled to Columbia University. That's because I love to learn and evolve. Um, so my passion was business, and I also have an art company. It's called the Artify Group, where my husband really manages the everyday today. We're in the same building. I just do more, the sort of like the board member per se to make the big decisions. And I saw that there was a need. A lot of designers were designing back then, and they didn't understand code compliance. They didn't understand the need of a nursing home, and that's how I got into it, by providing that need, offering sort of like lipstick on a pig a lot of times. They had a space and they didn't want to spend a lot of money, so I understood business. I understood the needs of a business owner, and that's how I started.
Beautiful, beautiful. I recently heard on another podcast, the guest was sharing the fact that from 20 to 40, you typically learn and you adapt to a certain uniqueness or something that you love doing. From 40 to 60, you just become masterful at it, or you continue learning. By the time you're 60, you're ready to go out and teach. So,
I'm ready teaching.
right. I was going to say, I think in our circle, we start teaching a little younger.
Yeah.
So with that being said, where do you think that comes from, in the sense of that entrepreneurial spirit and that need to continue learning? Because like from the educational side versus what I call the street from experience. How do you bring those two together? What advantage does that really give you?
So I think I have a lot of common sense as far as it's needed with entrepreneurial, because you have to think out of the box. But where does it come from? I don't know. I guess it's in me. I have no idea where it comes from. I know my parents were business owners. But nobody in my family. I have a family of 8. I'm the only business owner in my family. And I'm not the oldest. I'm smack in the middle. But I don't know. It's just in
So
me.
maybe you just took from your parents and all your siblings. You just ate up the whole entrepreneurial.
Yeah, could be.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Good. So with that being said, reflecting back on your journey, if someone came over to you today and said, "Look, I'm really thinking about going into business myself," what's the 2 best directions that you can put that person, that maybe something that he should or shouldn't do?
So the first thing I always say is be open. Basically, be open to learn and change. I find that a lot of business owners, they're stuck in their ways and they're about their own bottleneck, because they're not willing to learn, they're not willing to change or adapt, and they see constructive criticism as criticism. But really, for the most part, everybody wants to share. I mean, I love sharing, and that's something that people have to be open to. Another thing that I would tell is to make system and processes is so important. I'm so passionate about it. Like if I see one of my vendors, they don't have a system or a process, I offer it to them. Can I help you? Can I come in and I'm telling you, I'm just going to set up your folder system. And they're like, no, I don't need your help. But that's something that people really, truly overlook.
Excellent. I think one feeds the other. If you're open to change, then you recognize the importance of having processes or refining them or advancing them in order to really be able to serve your next best piece of where you're heading. It's fascinating, and I appreciate you sharing. Most people don't recognize that, I should say. And my father taught me at a very young age. He says, surround yourself with like-minded good people, because 98% of the world wants to do good. But if you get stuck in that 2%ers, then you're just going to see yourself tripping on your own feet and staying stuck for a long time. So go out and tap into the 98%ers. Like you said, you're willing to give, and I'm the same way. It's all about giving. The more you give, the more you end up getting. I call it end up getting because I don't, it just fills a tremendous ability to help others and learn from others.
100%.
With that being said, I'm just curious. You mentioned that you have the book Traction behind you. If I may ask, do you have a vision in regards to where is it like 3 to 5 years out for your company that you're hoping to achieve?
So my goal is to move to Israel. So I want to build a company that I can exit without exiting, so that I can build it up that should be self-sufficient, yet come once a month or if need be, or once a quarter to be in-house. That is my 5-year goal. My 3-year goal, I definitely want a 20x. I know it's ambitious, but I recently got myself certified, so I'm working with government now a little bit. We won 2 contracts with them, like right after
Beautiful.
we got our certification. We keep on expanding. Right now, for my 1-year goal is that I'm going to finish a job in the JFK because they're doing a lot of construction. So
Beautiful.
those are my goals.
That is excellent. That's excellent. And if I could share, just I love the way that you're well set in your path in that sense. In my past career, I was part of Culinary Depot, and over 10 years ago, I told a manufacturer's rep that there'll be a day that I will be a recognized vendor in Madison Square Garden. He said, Elliot, it will never happen. That's like the most complicated property in Manhattan to become a vendor. And 5 years ago, I became a vendor, and I've been very fortunate to supply many of their newest outfits that they've done. So never say never, because
Exactly.
it happens in the right times and it opens up. With that being said, with the 10X, or you called it 20X, so that's really ambitious. Any books or guidance in order to be able to support that, to be able to achieve that?
So I'm not really so much a book person. I don't love to read. I love to listen. I listen to a lot of podcasts. And I love to learn. So for me, it's just taking more courses and evolving that way.
Okay, so if I could share a book with you, and I'll end off the podcast because that brings us to an end over here. Typically, I ask the guest if you have any books that you want to share, which I'm happy to share that as well. But you said you're not such a book reader, so I don't want to put you on the spot. There's a book out by Dan Sullivan and Benjamin Hardy called 10X is Easier Than 2X. It's a very easy read. There's a lot of podcasts about it as well, so you can listen to them.
Right.
It's an awesome read. It's all about shifting your mindset and how it's actually easier to achieve the simple things that will get you a lot faster, a lot further than working in the grind and only 2Xing your business and feeling, so strapped, as they call it. So right. With that, do you have a book that you want to share with the audience that you did read, or if not, we'll skip it?
I don't remember offhand, to be honest.
Okay.
I'm saying negotiations, but because I feel like negotiation is something that every single business owner needs to know. But I don't remember the name of the book.
Never Split the Difference by Steve Voss, maybe?
No, it was by Maury. I forgot her last name.
Okay, it's good. Excellent. Yes, but negotiation skills for owners and leadership is a very needed skill or talent. Yes, I agree with you. With that, I thank you so much for coming on. For those that enjoyed this podcast, please share it, like it, comment. If you'd like to be a guest, please feel free to reach out to me right here on LinkedIn. Faigy is also on LinkedIn. That's where we got to meet. And if you're in the need of her services, please feel free to reach out and mention that you saw it right here on the Growth Through Positivity podcast. Thank you, Faigy.
You're very, very welcome. Thank you. Take care. Have a good day.